doesn't appear to be working at the moment. Why is that, Ray? I don't know. I think it is live. Right, it appears to be live now. Yes, that's the game that cannot be played, apparently. Which is, I'm playing it. I'm playing it right now. Today is, I don't know what day it is. Sunday the 30th of August, something like that. Let me just check with Alexa a minute. Alexa, what day is it? What year is it, Alexa? Alexa, what year is it? Right, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's just to prove what year it is. This is not recorded 8 years ago. This is live now. Project Spark. No. I showed you a little bit of one of my worlds, I do believe. That somebody created probably 97% of it, and I just did the rest. But I thought I'd show you the creation side of it and how easy and simple it is. So we go to here. We can launch a creation with a little help to get you started. So Ghost, I know you're not very good at creation. You said, "Oh, I'm not very good at creation, Ray. I can't do that. It's far too much to me." Now I know that you can't buy this game anymore, but this is how easy it is. So if I can go to create, and that will give you some help to create. Alright, so you don't have to do it all yourself. Now if you want to do it all yourself, you go to that one. And you start from complete scratch on a blank slate. Or if you want to learn step by step how to do it, you can go to learn to create. Alright, well I'll start off with create, okay? Now I've just created a new world actually. It took about half an hour. So if you're not creative, this will help. Ready? Initializing. Right, so we start off with, what should we have? Hills, canyons. So we can flick between these, and it will draw a bit of a canyon. Alright, or we can do the hills, which you just did. Alright, or we can have something with rivers. Alright, okay, now of course we're not completely, we can press randomize and we'll get different variations of that. So we'll get like mountains. We could have it completely flat. Or we could have something like that. Just a few little hills here and there. And you notice each time we do this, it comes out different. So I'll do that and I'll switch back to that. Is it going to come out the same? No, it's not. It's different every time. So you will never create the same thing twice. Let's randomize it again. Now we go back to the canyons one. Let's just pick this one, just for fun. Now, we can alter the water level of this by moving this. We can actually have it all flooded like that if you want. So we can actually do that as well. I'll do it just a little bit like that. And then we press A, if you're on Xbox. Now, what kind of world would we like? We got an alien world. Looks pretty cool, and again you will get it randomized each time you go back to it. We've got Arctic, and it will draw all the bits in for you, so you don't have to do anything. Or we can have an empty one like before, but if we press randomize we get different choices. We get desert, we can have a forest, or we can have windy grasslands. And again, every time you do it, it's going to be different. Alright? Now, I quite like that. So let's not waste too much time. There we go. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? What do you think? And I barely did anything but pick a choice. Now, we could have this evening. We could have morning. We could have night. Now, you might think, well, it's not much. But you can have it overcast. You can have it stormy. You have a star field, right? But you can randomize it again, and you can have the void nether. Or you can have... See, the list goes on. You will get all kinds of choices in this. Alright? So I'm going to go with morning. I think, you know, a nice bright morning. We can change the sun angle, by the way. We can do this and change the sun angle. So, I mean, you could do all this kind of stuff if you want. Alright. Press A. Alright. So it's going to create this little bit that we did. I haven't touched the keyboard. This is all being generated. So you don't need an ounce of creation. You just got to make a choice. Ghost. And then we want a character in it. What do you want? A Yeti? A tiny little... Now we can alter these scale of him, by the way. Alright. Or what about... I don't know. What about a royal queen? And again, we can... Hang on. We can alter the scale. We can make her very big. Or we could make her hobbit size. Alright. Now, that's not many, you'll say. That's 3 choices. Not very many choices there. We could have a woodland blacksmith. Now, this will go on and on, I assure you, because there are a ton of characters in this game. Okay, and you could be an owl, a troll, right, and we could just keep on going. We could be a king, we could be an astro explorer female, a woodland ranger female, but we'll keep on going. We could be a zombie. So as you can see, it goes on and on. Okay, we could have a golem. God, you know, I didn't know we had a golem, to be honest. a woodland fighter. I mean, you could just... I mean, I'll tell you what, let's have a teddy. Let's make a bigger teddy. Let's make him a little bit bigger. Alright. Okay. Now we got to find... Well, where do we put the guy? Oh, I don't know. I mean, we can slip the camera out like this. And I don't know, where should we put him? Let's put him, say... and if we press hold left trigger, we can snap him to the ground. And we're going to put him there. And it's actually going to bring the ground up to him. So if you just do him in the middle of the air, it would just draw the ground up to it. Now comes our choice. Oh, God, what do we want to make this guy? And we can move the camera around a little bit like this. You know, does he want to be a twin stick shooter? Which means, you know, he'd be able to shoot stuff. He could be a land creator, so he can fly around. Well, he can move around, and as he does, he can lift the landscape up and down. All right. Or we could have a first-person shooter. Or you know, we can do endless amounts. All right. All right. So with different skills and whatever. I mean, I'll just keep going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a sort kind of a default one, which is like a third-person adventurer. Alright, so we'll save that. It's going to save it for you. Well done, it's great. Now that we've done it, okay, we can now test it out. So, literally, all we've done is made a few choices, and we've literally got a nice game here. We can jump, you can punch, you can evade, and he's got a few basic commands, and you can throw a fireball. Alright? So you see there with how very little effort we made this lovely little world. Just like that. Now you see all these figures here, objects, characters, effect costs. That's because I've got the advanced commands on, which are in these options here. So you go to game settings and you can put advanced on. Alright, and that will show you how the game, so if you find that performance is dropping a bit, or you know, it will... What it will do is as you're playing, it will show you how many collisions there are. If they start going orange, that means, oh, you're getting near the limit now. If they go red, then it means it's going to affect the game quite a bit. Right, so you can keep an eye on that, and you get so many characters, and you can do quite a lot of characters actually before it goes wrong. So you can keep an eye on all that. Right, now that we've done that, okay, and you can do a screenshot, blah de blah de blah. The website, obviously, this game is not being done anymore, so you can't go to the website. Alright, we're going to go here. Now we go into edit mode. Okay, now I usually slip it onto here. Now that we're in edit mode, we can now see this world that we just created. And with each zoom, you can go faster. So if you want to, you know, do it nice and slow, you can go like close. or you can go all the way back and you can move very fast. So as you can see, it's pre-generated all this stuff for you. Okay, there's a little block here. Now, but you're thinking, what's that block do? Well, all that block is doing, I do believe, is nothing. and this rock here actually is made up of lots of little rocks and little bits stuck on, and they've all been joined together into one piece. Alright, now I can select, and by the way, as you move over it, you get feedback on the controller so that you know that that is the highlight there, and you can grab it like that, and then we can move this up. We can say, oh, I don't like it there. I'll move it over there. I don't particularly like that. Like that. Alright, and then you can just press B to let go. Now, I don't know why that's attached to it, but, you know, well, whoops. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So if you want to move the heart, you could use that. Alright. Okay. Right, so that's that. Now, this character we have, we can right trigger grabs him. Oh no, hang on. I've selected attach there. Right, so I'll just give you a very quick idea of what you can do. Right. So we can grab this guy, press him right trigger, right? And Y goes up, X goes down. You know, or it'd be triangle and square on a. Now, if you want him to snap to the ground, so say, oh, hello there, I don't have to get him just right so his feet are on the ground. You can just press left trigger and it snap him to the ground, and then just press B to exit, or you can just press right trigger again. You can also clone it. All right, so I could click on it like that, right? But then if I press it again, I will get a clone of it. All right, and if I press left trigger, I can rotate it. Like that. And again, I press left trigger, it'll lock to the ground, and then I can either press B to exit, or I can just put him down by pressing that. And now we've got two of them. Alright, now let me run the game. We might both do the same thing. There we are. They were actual clones. So we can have a couple of brothers playing. Alright. Right. Let's go back and edit mode. So this is the kind of thing we can do. Now, of course, we may not want that. So if we hold left B, which is what it's saying there, and press brain like this, it's got a few basic things in it. Now, that once says, I'm only going to do this once, and my team equals team 1. So if you face somebody who's team 2, they will treat that as an enemy. Okay, so this is a basic programming, alright? Now, this is very easy to do. Now, it's got a follow camera, which is what we saw, but we can change that to a first-person camera just by doing that, okay? And you can also set the distance away and all this kind of stuff, alright? You can also do a fixed camera, a boom camera, or something that looks at a particular place. Or you can do camera effects like shake, depth, so you can do things like volcanic activity. Right, it's going to display a health bar. Now this is a pre-programmed thing, so you don't have to do the programming on this. All this does really is, this is a when. So when something like this happens, when you select that, it will do this. So when and once, and then it's going to do all these in sequence. This is what computer programming is, but this is a very simplified version of what real computers do. They just do a choice between one or the other, or an if, which is sometimes, you know, oh, it could be that or that. If it's not that or that, it could be this. So that's all it is. This is displaying a health bar at the top left of the screen. Alright? And when you move the left stick, so I could make this the right stick if I want. So if I say, if I move the right stick, I will move. Okay? And then we'll, although this might not work because I may have done it on the wrong one, because one of them's a player and one of them isn't. Right, now we're first person, the other one's third person, obviously, because he's, you know. Alright, but you notice I'm not moving with the left stick, but I am with the right stick, but I've kind of confused it now because right stick was going to be the camera. So what we'll do is go back to that and put that back to the left stick. But all you see, you don't need any programming skill, you just do, when I move the left stick, it's going to move, and that's how simple it is. When A is pressed, I'm going to jump. When X is pressed, I'm going to attack. When Y is pressed, I'm going to shoot something. When I detect an interactable object, I'm going to highlight it yellow. So whatever that object is what the apple stands for, it. Okay, and then it gives you like, and it's going to do a symbol above. Now, if you're using a keyboard, it will show the middle mouse button. If you're using a controller, it will show a B. And when you press B, well, you will interact with it. If it's not near something to interact, it would do this instead, and it will dodge with strafing invulnerable. All right, which means it cannot be hit. All right. Anyway, that's that. Okay, so that's one side of it, and then we're gonna destroy this thing because we can delete it just like that by pressing the button. Now, on the right-hand side, if we press RB, you know, it says we can move, so we can move this very precisely if you want to do some really close-up stuff or whatever. Okay, so all that kind of stuff. All right. Now you're thinking, oh well, that's not very exciting game. I mean, you just walk around and that's it. All right, let's put some enemies in, shall we? Now these enemies are pre-built. So if we go to, we've got objects, and I showed you last time that there are a ton of them. Literally, I don't even know how many there are, but there's a lot. Right, let's just pick an enemy. Let's say, I don't know, something like a zombie or something. I don't know. Well, a goblin. I mean, that's a good one, isn't it? Now, where am I? Where's the player? Yeah, I'm over there. So let's say I'm over here. Now we can press left trigger. Oh, right. I wasn't quite in the right spot. I always kind of want to do it there for some reason. I wonder why that is. Well, that's odd. It might because I'm quite high and I'm near that area, or the camera's near it. Right. Okay, so where are we? We're over there. I'll tell you what, we're hiding behind this rock. Alright? And if we hold the left button, we can rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it there, right? And I'm going to hide him behind that rock. Right? And we're going to press that left trigger just to make sure, in case there's a bumpy bit there, just to make sure he's on the ground, right? And then I'm going to let go. Oops. I could do that and instantly bring it back. I'll put that there. Now you're supposed to press right trigger and then back. Alright? Now, you may think, oh great, I'm just going to come along and he's just going to be standing there. No, because these characters have got built-in brains. And he's team number 2, which means he's an enemy. And I'll just quickly do, but when there's an enemy or a player who's not neutral, is nearest to my enemy will equal it. So in other words, when something comes near it, which is not it, and it's not neutral, all right, or a player or an object come near, it will treat it as an enemy, and then it defines how far away it is, and then it will move towards the enemy, and it's gonna, well, this one's gonna ally with it. All right, so let's see what happens when we test it. And then we go back to more creation, I think. Right, so there I am there. Now, what rock was he behind? I can't remember, but let's walk this way. I think he was behind there. Look. Now, we got within a certain range, and he's going to start following me, because he's a buddy. So, in fact, he's going to follow me, and then he's going to hit me. But if it was one of his buddies, the ally bit was, if there's another one of these guys, I'll just punch him. If there's another one of these guys, it means it will treat him as an ally, but if it's somebody who's not an ally, he's going to be an enemy. But right, let's get back to creation. Alright, so we've done that, we've created an enemy, so really this is all you need to do. There's no effort involved here. You didn't have to do any of that program, look into the program thing or anything like that. You just put this character in, put a few enemies in, and there are tons of them, and you can have an ally. I mean, you know, you could just stick anything in here. We could even modify its brain, come to think of it. We could have an owl, alright, and I can stick him on top of there. Just get his feet roughly like that. Then we can turn him around so he's sort of facing him, like that. and then we right trigger, okay, and then we press B because it will do another one otherwise. Now I don't know what kind of brain he's got, but he's only a bird, so he'll probably do something simple. Right, but he's going to fly at speed, blah blah blah, do a turn, you know, in a random direction. You know, he's just going to move about, fly in all directions. All right, but you can change that brain if you want and turn it into something that will attack you. All right, right, we've done that. Now let's see, we've created this world, and you think, oh yeah, great, I can put some stuff in, but we could also put tons of other stuff in as well. So supposing we wanted a house. Now we've got to search things here, so we'll put house. I don't want to put a building down. We can put it in there, save us having to look through the whole lot. And you can pick one of these. And these are some houses that are pre-built, but you can create your own. Now, as you can see, we're a bit close to that, and that building is rather big. So we're going to dump it down here, and we can left trigger again on that. And we're going to stick it right there. Let's see. Let's kind of put it just there. Just, I might move it just up a little bit like that. Right, and then we're going to right trigger just to finish that off. Alright, there's a little bit of a puddle there, but still. Alright, now this thing is attached by lots of different things. So if we go into this, I do believe we can detach stuff. Although, I better not do that, I might mess it up. But what you can do is, you can take a load of objects and you can attach them all together, and it creates it as one object. So therefore, you can create new objects. See, this here is some rocks, all right, and there's 3 things that is attached to it, or 4 of that. These plants are stuck on it, positioned very delicately. You just pick a plant like that, and we just stick it on there, say, all right, like that, and then we let go, and then we've got another one. Alright, so you can just attach stuff and create your own stuff. You're not limited by this palette here. You can create whatever you like. If we want to clear that text, we do that. Now, not only do we have characters, and there are quite a lot now, we have champions, which are ones that would just spawn into the world as a champion. They're very special and they've got very special moves. We've got tons of effects you can put in. And again, these are just drop them in. Alright, so you don't have to do any programming, whatever. These things will just be there. Alright? So, I don't know. Let's put an effect in of some sort. I don't know, an undead aura. I mean, we just stick it on there, shall we? Some just undead. I mean, just something random to put in. Alright? And we can make the scale of it, make it a bit bigger. Now, these little corner bits are purely, it's just the little box that it's made of. And then we can just press right trigger and let go, and it's there. You won't see these 4 little corners. That's just so you can get an idea of how to rotate it and turn it and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's lots and lots of effects in this. There are also, sorry, that was not, that was the effects, right? We've also got sounds, so we could do like a weird kind of sound, and again there are hundreds of these. Okay, all right, so we could put an ambient bit of noise in, an animal, wolf, I mean, you name it, we can put in there whatever we want. I don't know, I mean, just do something random. A castle entrance drawbridge close. All right. We could just stick that here, so when you see that, you get that as well. Alright, and that'll have a limit, you know, a range or whatever. And this controller does, that'll have a range or whatever, and you can go into that and it'll have a range, a property, you know, you name it. You can define all that. You can make it float in the air if you want. Alright, and then the very last one, these are attachments. Now, these attachments that I've made or I've grab from other people's worlds and I just plonk them in. So, as I say, attach things together and you can pull these things in. Now, those are normal blocks, okay, but these are attachments. These are some things I made, some things other people made. You know, there are all kinds of stuff here. I mean, there's a campfire there. I can stick a campfire down here. I said there's a campfire here. I can't see the campfire. Is it below the ground? Oh, well, that didn't work, did it? So, I don't quite know what happened there, but that didn't seem to work for some reason. But say I did, I don't know. Let's pick anything. Like a booing crowd. Oh, is it not working? I'm very surprised at that. Oh, it just took a while to load in. Okay, usually it doesn't take that long. Might because we're online. Sometimes when you're online, it ain't going to work. Right, and if you wonder what those logic cubes are, these are logic cubes. These are things that define what they do. Okay, so I won't go into detail, but it will say play sound of a crowd, blah 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 blah, and then they will randomly move about or whatever. So if I do test, so and you can just do this yourself, and they'll say things and they'll walk about, and they're just going to be a crowd. They're going to cheer and whatever. And this guy's after me, and I'm going to punch the living daylights out of him. And then we come over here, and you can hear that cog sort of going. Actually, I'm going to turn the music down. The music in this game is very loud. Game settings. Oh, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Sorry, audio. Yeah, let me turn the music down. The music seems to be very loud in this. I'll just turn the effects down. Oh no, I won't. Otherwise, I'm not going to hear it. But you can hear a noise of like a gate opening. Alright. And now we have like 7 characters in the game. Because we got the thing, plus we got these, so we got 2, 4, 5, 6, which is me, and then 7 is the other guy that we just killed. Although he should be out of it now. Although it might be the owl as well. Where's the owl? Did I get rid of the owl? Not sure where I put the owl. Oh, I think he's just flying off. Yeah, fly off. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that's that. So as I say, you can just plonk stuff into this without any effort at all and just throw stuff in here. These things also are, you can take them apart as well. They have got sections, you could take them apart, split them up into separate pieces and make your own. Alright, so you can also do that. I mean, I forget how to do it now. Right, if you press that, oopsie daisy. I meant to, God, I've forgotten how to do it now. Right, it's up there. Right, okay. Yeah, this paintbrush here, you can pick a biome, and if you're not sure about biomes and things, you know, you can just place these blocks in however you like. You can just pluck, you know. So you can pick a slot, and you can whip stuff in. All right, but if you go to the top one, hang on. Right, I'm having trouble. I was right. I'm having trouble. It's all right. I got to press A, go up there, and do that. I can actually pick a whole biome as opposed to a thing, and I can. Sorry, if I press up, I can choose an actual biome to go in there. So I can put, say, a desert one in there, or I can put an Arctic one there, and these are free ones that you can put anything in. All right. So what I can do is, I could choose one of these now. If I press A, go back to here. Right, go back to paint. All right. I can choose, say, that one there. All right. Whoops. Sorry. Whatever one you're on, it will do. So if I can come down here, I can alter the size of it. You know, do what you want. The intensity, the shape, whatever, and then you can start pressing a button like this. Oh, and and it will paint. So if I did say that. Made it a little bit smaller, say I could do a little path. Whoops. I beg your pardon, I'm not on paint. Yeah, sorry, it's been a while since I played it. You can just do a little path like this. Alright? So you can draw a little path like that. So I could draw a little path all the way down there, from the house, all the way down here. Something like that. Just do a little pathway to his house. Okay, so we can do that. Alright, so it's all quite easy stuff. I can also do stuff like, yeah, that's right, I'm struggling remembering what to do with this. The enemies and friends bit I don't think comes in. But I could cut a river in here if I wanted. So I can sort of go down here and I can, oh by the way, sorry, it's using the desert one, so maybe I ought to go for that one. Alright, and do this one. And it would do like a little bit of a river, like, and that could disappear off in the distance, you know, through a little cave. Alright, you can do that. And you notice it's drawing stuff in, drawing the sides, the bottom, everything like that. It's doing all that for you, you don't have to do anything. Alright, so that's that. So you can't do the other, and also you can do arrays, so you can do that as well. Alright, let's move down. We've got the paint. I say we can pick anything we want here. We can do a bit of snow. That is the expand tool, so you could come along and you know you could just do this, and you could build a little hill, and you can make the intensity much higher so that it will do it much faster. So if I put it on there, it's going to go, whoa, you know, it's going to do a real big hill very fast, like that. Okay, but obviously you're not the creative type, and nor am I. And then we can test it. So once you've done all this, you can just test it. And I usually by default put it on that one. The other options are things like multi-edit, where you can attach stuff together into one piece. I think you can, yeah, I've got to try and think now what it does. Not quite sure what a multi-edit does now, but I know the attach does it, and this is for power, for connecting things, if you want to have connecting things, all that kind of stuff. Alright, there's also pre-built stuff in here, so if we go to objects, go to here, we can put in, say, a random door. And these are pre-programmed, a lot of these. Alright, so I can just pick a door. Oh, let's have an ancient gate, eh? Like that. So, oh, let's have an ancient gate. Oh, hang on. Leading into that weird place there. And then we can press the left trigger and it will pull it out, and we can rotate it. I say I won't spend too much time doing this. Rotate it like that. Make sure it's on the ground like that. Right trigger to do it, and then B to let that go. Alright, now this has a brain in it. Alright, when detected by the player, put the power on. In other words, the gate will open. When it's not detected by the player, it will go off. So it has a certain range, and if you move away from it, it will stop. So if we test that, so this is what I mean, you can just place stuff in. Really all you're doing is placing stuff in and painting stuff. Now I got to this gate, you notice it opens. Alright, and then when I move away from it, it shuts. Alright, so that's what I mean, very simple to do stuff in this. Okay, right, anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of me just showing you a basic thing where it gives you a lot of guidance on how to do it. Right, so I'm not gonna save that. You do save it, exit without saving. Alright, and that is the one we just did, where it did occur, and it gives you a little bit of help. So it just gives you a few decisions, and then you can just plonk. So literally, you could just keep doing this. You don't have to create anything, alter the brains, do anything. You just create a world, put yourself in it, say what kind of thing you want it to be in, and give it the correct brain, and then you can stuck a load of enemies in, build a load of hills and things, and you could just have a little game, all right, with very little effort. Now that is if you want to start from a blank slate, so you want to create it yourself. But this one is actually going to teach us how to do all this, step by step. All right.
Have you ever made a game?
I got a cup of tea there.
No? Well, time to change that. Get ready to create a hero, an adversary, and a world to explore.
Alright, so we press A
to switch tools, then use the left stick to navigate to the prop tool, and press A again to select it.
Alright, so we press A, we move to the prop tool,
to open the prop
then
gallery.
up on the D-pad.
Use the left stick to select the Characters tab, then press A to filter your view. Choose any character you want to be your hero.
And then
Press
we choose
the left
anything we
trigger
want
to snap the prop to the ground. Press
Okay,
the
so
right
this will
trigger
teach
to
you
place
how
the
to
prop
play
in
it.
your world. Move
And
the
then
cursor
right trigger,
over your hero
place it.
and hold LB.
Alright, and then we press B so that we don't
While
do
holding the
another one.
left bumper, press Y to open its brain. Welcome to the Brain Editor, where the magic really happens.
And it's very simple
Brains are a
programming.
collection of code statements that tell the object how to behave. All code statements are divided into a when side and a do side. When, the left side is true, do, the actions on the right.
Right, and this is basically how computers work and make all the decisions and make all these computer they literally are a series of whens and do's, although they're not called whens and do's, they're called ifs, thens, and all this kind of stuff. But so this is a simplified, very, very simplified version of computer
Let's
code.
start with a blank brain and build your hero from scratch. First, let's give them a way to move.
And this is very basic stuff.
Select the plus and press A to add a tile to the when side.
See, so it's telling you the whole time,
Tilt
guiding
the
you
left stick
through
toward
this.
the controls folder and press
Right,
A
we
to
move
select it.
it towards
Select
that
the
and press
controller
A.
folder. Select the
the
left
controller
stick tile. Now this line
the
of
left
code
stick.
will run when the left stick is used. But what will it
What will it do? So it does treat you
Select
like a
the
3-year-old.
plus and press A to add a tile to the do side.
And luckily
Select
I
the
am a
movement
3-year-old child.
folder.
Let me move it. So we just push the left stick towards it. We just got this little pointer and we
Select
just
the
point
move
towards that.
tile. You've written
Move it up
your
to
first
there.
line of code. It says that when the left stick is used, the character will move. Press B
Right.
to exit the brain editor.
So now we press
menu
B to get out of
open the
that.
pause menu.
And then we press the menu, which is the one that's in the bottom right. If you hold that, you can
Select
end this
test
tutorial,
to
which I
try
will
out
any
your
second.
game. Move the left
Then we
stick
press
to see
the
what
test.
happens. When you're done testing, press menu.
Right, then we move around now. What you'll see, he's hopping around, that's because he's got one leg. Alright, but as you can see, it's moving around, but I'm not moving with it. Okay, it's just moving the character around the world space. Okay? Alright, it says when you're
The
done,
pause
press the menu
has
button.
many
Right?
uses. You can switch
I will
between edit and
stop
test
very,
modes,
very quickly,
save
don't
your
worry.
level, share it, and access various properties that affect the entire world. Select Edit to return to create. Move the cursor over your hero and hold LB. While holding the left bumper, press Y to open its brain. Let's give your hero the
Nice.
ability to jump. Select the plus and press A to add a tile to the wens. This is the tile picker, where all code tiles can be found. Tiles are all organized into
Getting
folders
complicated
by
now,
their
isn't it?
functionality.
Cool.
Select the controls folder.
So, you'll soon get the knack of it, because it'll
Select
guide
the
you through it all.
controller folder. Select the A
So again,
tile.
we're just doing a simple
Select
button
the plus
press.
and press A to add a tile
when you
to the
press A,
select the movement folder.
What do you think it's going to do? It's going to do a
Select
movement
the
thing,
jump tile.
and
The
it's going to
line
be
you
jump.
just
So you
wrote
can get it to
says,
move, turn, do what you
whenever
want.
this button is held, jump. However, your
Alright.
hero will jump constantly if that button is held. Let's add one more tile to change that. This will be a
So
modifier.
in other words, you could keep your
meaning
finger
it
on that
affects
and
the
just keep
tile
jumping.
that comes before it. Select the plus and press A to add a tile to the when side. Select the modifiers folder. Select the pressed tile.
So
This
when it
means
is
your
pressed,
hero will only jump when the button is first pressed. Your
you
hero's
go.
brain is missing one more key thing, a camera. This is why the game doesn't move with their actions.
so I will stop just after
Select
this,
the
okay?
plus and press A to add a tile to
So
the do side.
all these number 1, 2, and then the plus sign or whatever, these are all sequences that will happen, and they start at the top and work their way down, alright? Okay, so we do the first bit, it's going to move. Now, it's going to just keep cycling round these 3 things the whole time, okay?
Press the right bumper to view the next page of tiles.
Right, so we press
Select
the right
the
bumper,
camera
and then we go
folder.
to
Select
then we
the
press the
follow
camera.
tile. Because the
Follow
when
camera.
side of this line is empty, now the camera will always follow the player.
Alright, so it doesn't need a do, so it's on the do. It doesn't need a when. It just means it's always going to be a follow camera on
Let's
that
try
character.
out your new
alright?
camera. Press B to exit the press menu to open the pause menu. Select test. Try jumping and moving the right stick to control the camera. When you're
So
done
now,
testing,
before
press
it just
menu.
moved around and we were just stationary. Now we're actually with the character in third person. Alright, so that's a taste of this particular tutorial.
Select edit to return
Right.
to move the cursor
And
over
then-
your hero and hold
And this goes
LB.
on and will gradually teach you lots of stuff about the game. Okay, and then it will go on to creating stuff, how to create things, how to build hills, valleys, all kinds of stuff. All right, so I'm going to press an end. I don't want to bore you with all that. All right, we've done that. We're going to exit. So I'm going to try and do all this quickly. I don't want to bore you too much. All right, so we've done that one. We can do the one from scratch. Now I'll just very quickly do one from scratch, and then I'll show you another one of my worlds. Okay. So that one is the one that gives you a bit some help. Well, a lot of help. That one is the one where it tells you step by step, and this is the one that does it from scratch. Okay. So this will give you a blank slate, and I'll just very quickly do something, and then we'll do something more interesting. Because you're probably not interested, and you can't get this game anyway. So here we are. We've got a blank plus space. All right, and you can, even define how big this is. To be honest, we can go in here and we can go to world properties. We can even, dictate what kind of, morning sky. You can add a filter to it, so you could have saturated. You can do all this stuff. This is lots how bright it is. You can do all this kind of stuff. All right. Where the water's calm, void, Arctic. You could have bog water if you want. You could even define the water level by just moving it up and down. Look, you see, look, the water's creeping in. So, there's a ton of stuff here, and you can put, different music in. If you don't like the one that's in there, you could do something else. Tons of stuff. You can even alter the physics of it. All kinds of stuff. All right. Alright, so here we are in the editor. If we press, we've got three different views here. We've got sort of close-up view, a mid view. I'll do the mid view, and then we press Y to go up, not going to go down. Now I want to make a hill. Alright, I'm going to go to this one and do expand. Now, if I press the right trigger, this will expand it. Okay? Alright. And it's doing it fairly fast, but if we press the left one and move the intensity, we can just move this down a bit to a bit more reasonable level, so we can do it a little bit more finely. So we can sort of be a little bit more careful about it, like this. Okay? And now if you press the left trigger, it will take it away. So if I do this one, it will actually cut something out. Alright, so it will do the opposite effect. So left trigger always does the opposite of what the right trigger does. Okay? And if we press the sort of two little buttons on, if you've got an Xbox and you've got the white Xbox cross in the middle, and you've got the sort of menu button and then the picture button or whatever it is, if you press that and hold it, you can just undo what I just did. Alright, like that. So you can do that. So you've got an undo button. Alright, so yeah, just very quickly do something. Alright. Now, there are other options on here like this. So I could change the shape to say this, alright, or that, and I could just put a block straight in like this. Okay, so I just go plonk, and I can move up and do another one. So we can do like a tower kind of thing, Alright, so that's that one. Now the smooth one, what that does. And I'm going to move it to, I usually use the round one. It's usually better for doing hills and things. So we're going to go in, alright, and then I'm going to smooth out. Now what happens is it will take those two surfaces and smooth between the two, alright? You see, it's kind of smoothing it out for you, okay? Alright, now the opposite of that is roughen it. So if I do that, look, it makes it nice and rough. And I just turn that intensity down. So we just do it a little bit. But say, that doesn't look very good. But if we do this one, we can deform it so that it's a little bit less uniform, okay? So that it looks a bit more natural, all right? So, it doesn't look all the same and whatever. And then, of course, the opposite of that is to smooth it. So we can smooth it all out. So you can mess around with these things until you get it how you like. So just so that it doesn't look too uniform. Alright? And obviously the longer you press it down, the more it's going to cut away and make it look ridiculous. Like that. but you know, you can just smooth that back out again. Alright, so that's the smooth one. Now the plateau one, what that does is, if we went to say the top of there, alright, and we press the right trigger, right? Okay, nothing much has happened, but if we can do this, it actually keeps it that level and just draws like you know, something like that. So if you could have two of these towers and join them with this, all right. So that's what plateau does. It takes a level height and then it moves that from there. Now cubify, I think cubifies it. So if we it turns it into kind of Minecraft. All right, I'll come in a bit closer. But look, if we can make this into Minecraft if we want as well. Right, and the opposite of that is obviously press the left trigger, is decubify it. So we've got all these kind of tools that you can mess around with as well. All right, because we don't want Minecraft. All right, so that's the different options. Now, this all that means is do the opposite. So if you wanted to expand, you could click on that and it'd go to erode. That's if you were on Windows, you can do that. But for Xbox, it's just left and right trigger. Left does the opposite, right does what that says. All right, now the paint tool. Now you're thinking, oh, that's pretty blank, you know, and my name's Ghost, and I'm not really good at all this. It's quite simple. So I'll make this say high intensity, well, middle intensity. Right, we'll go to scale. I'll make it as big as we possibly can. All right, because you know I don't want to spend hours painting all this. But what you can do is you can say say that there. Well, let's pick that. In fact, sorry, we just need to use the D-pad and just select it. Right now, if I right trigger on this, look, I can very quickly paint this. And you notice when it comes to the edges like that, it would do like, you know, cliff edge, you know, like the edge of a cliff. So it's not drawing grass on the edges. That's because you wouldn't get that on the edge, would you? So this is how quick you can fill it in. Now we can get, if we go to the longer view, it'll paint it even faster. All right. So you can just paint straight in like this. Alright, now we can change that to say that we want. Turn the intensity right down. Say that, and then I can just zoom in a little bit, and we can just add little bits of this. Now probably that intensity could go even lower actually. Alright, we can just place little bits of, just to sort of break it up a bit. Alright. Like that. So, if we just do very finely like that, we just get a little bit. Alright, so you could just decorate stuff like that. Alright. Very quickly do that. Oops. So do that again. We could do, say, well, if we want, yeah, I keep pressing A for some reason. It's because I keep forgetting you press A, you know, then you do it, and then you just need to move that. Now on here I could just do it like that if I wanted. Right? I could just have it like that. You know, I don't have to have it all green like that. I can just do it like that. And again, I can do that. So I can select all different ones, and I can do different biomes and things. You know, I could select a bit of ice. You know, if I press A, go up to the top one, do the nature one, and then pick an empty slot. Oops. I push up. I could pick, say, I know that one. It doesn't highlight the thing very well, to be honest. And then I could select one of that one. Look, right. Go back down to here, right. And then on this little bit here, I could have a little bit of alien stuff. Now, obviously, the circle is the whole bit that we do, and then the circle inside of that is the area that it will cover. So you can do as little or as much as that as we want. All right. And now when I press right trigger, we get this kind of alien kind of rocky alien thing, and it will go along the shore as well. Alright, and you can switch between them, do like a dodgy bit there, and again you can do this tiny little bits like that. Alright, there goes the bike again. Alright, so that's a very quick look at that. Now, as I say, putting stuff in, you can literally You know, you got your objects here. I mean, I'll go to the attachment because this is the easiest. Because I got, see, I got like a spider thing that I animated. All right. Yeah, it looks like it does take a little while to load in. It might be because I'm online. I just checked that I have got a picture. By the way, I must admit I haven't looked to see there's a picture. Oh, I have got a picture. Excellent. Right, so it takes a little while to load in apparently, and then we can snap him to the ground, press right trigger like that. Now, if you notice, because there aren't creatures like that in the game, they just did not create, you know, they just didn't come up with that one. It's probably too complicated. I created my own, and what I've done is, you see he's a little bit sort of fuzzy, my character. So what I did is I attached him to my character so that, sorry, not my character, to a character, so that it would move realistically. But then I sort of got the legs to move, wiggle back and forward to give it a sense of movement. All right, and then I give it a brain. No, I didn't give it a brain. It's just stuck there. But I can easily put a brain in it. All right, if I go to the brain here and then I press this button here, I can pick a brain. All right, and I could pick, say, I don't know. So I just put enemy in it, because I know there's an enemy brain. All right, and I don't know, a hostile creature. Right now, we've just placed a brain in it. All right, let's give it a team name, which means it's, you know, anything but 4, it will treat as an enemy, and then it's got things like, you know, it's gonna do random thing, blah blah blah. I won't go into the details. All right, and then we can go to our players. We can test this, and this spider will fire poison at you. Try and turn towards you. All right, and if that poison hits you, I mean, it's not brilliant, this spider, but I think that's the one that doesn't work very well. But this poison hits you, it does that. But yeah, it's a very primitive. It says I'm almost out of disk space. I find that very hard to believe. Yeah, look, that's how much. See the object count, music and sound, storage. It says I've got tons of the stuff. But anyway, and if we want to delete that, we can just do that and do that. In fact, if I click on him, it'll delete the whole lot. And all those little legs and things were attached. That's because they didn't do spiders, so I made one, but it's very, very primitive. All right, so we can plonk stuff in. If I get rid of enemy and just clear that, so that they all come back. I'll do attachments again, because I can very quickly lump things in here. Let's have a look. Because I made a lot of things, and I dragged in other people's. So I could do, say, yeah, like the covered section at Riverwood. I could just drop that in because I selected it in the Skyrim game and just plonked it in. Here's a load of enemies and things. See, I did this. I created this, attached them all together, right, and just put a little fence in. I know it's not fantastic, but what do you want, blood? So you can just lump stuff in. So you can, you know, I mean, I won't show you how to do attachments and all that. That's getting into the too complicated stuff. But it's literally, you grab one, then grab the other one. You know, you just highlight each one that you want to grab, and then you say, oh, yeah, I want that to be all one bit, and then it just all goes into one lump. So it's pretty easy anyway. We could stick a party girl. This is something I just downloaded from somebody made this, and I just downloaded it. We could just go in. It's just a party, you know, a couple of party girls. And he's actually done her with very large bazookas there. But yeah, this is what people have created. All right. So I say it's all kinds of random rubbish. I've even got that opening sequence. Well, if you saw my Hobbit one, I did an opening sequence for the Hobbit one. Okay, and that part of that opening sequence is just one thing which is plonked in, and it will just do it because I've already programmed it all. Now there's a little house here, put that in, and I got a little hobbit house, well, kind of a hobbity house, but even with a little character. So what I did was I placed this inside a hill that had a hole cut out and just pushed it into it so that all you could see was the front door. All right, and that was my Hobbit house. And I got round windows on it, and I can edit that, and I can grab that, and I can pull it out. All right, and then I can press B to get out of it, so I can edit all these individual parts. All right, and just pull them out. So I could just take that particular bit and just pull it away, like that, and just move it somewhere else. All right. Now, if I save it, it will do the new things. All right. So that's a little look at Project Spark. You know, a little bit of the creation, how simple it is, and how if you don't know anything about creation, you can just do the other one where it just gives you some choices and you just plonk it in, and then you pick a character and plonk it in, and it does everything for you. But very quickly, you know, in the matter of half an hour, you can just place a load of stuff in here. All right. You could just make a little village, because I could do multiples of that particular building. I mean, I could see this is the whole courtyard here. I mean, it took a little while to load in this bit. Tell you what, yeah. You see why? You see why this is gigantic, this one. And if I turn that around, oh, didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that one. But yeah, as you can see, it is gigantic. And if I left trigger, it should go down to the ground. But yeah, I've kind of done the tilt slightly wrong there. So let's try and get this, you know, a little bit right. All right, and then press the left trigger, and then right trigger on that. All right. So this is a whole bit, and you see it's all attached to each other into one thing. All right, and then if we test it, so you can make things very simple for yourself by when you know, you can just dot a load of things together, just plonk them in one go. But a lot of this stuff, somebody else did it. I don't know if I can get in it. I think the entrance is. Oh, I didn't put it all the way down to the bottom. That's because some people, when they attach stuff, they don't always have it all in perfectly in line. You know, it's a little bit out. I think the doorway is round here. I think the other doorway doesn't work or something. Oh, it could be that it's not, hasn't got the, when I get near the door, open it. Alright. Anyway, that's that. And you notice there are sounds built into it and everything. Alright. Okay, that's that. I'm going to exit that because obviously I'm not going to save it. So that's a very quick look at the creation. I'd say the creation from start to scratch, that's what we just did. If we go back and I press create again, it will put my projects down on the bottom there. This is one that, now there's my Hobbit one, which you've already seen. You saw the Skyrim one. This is another one that I've been working on, Gollum's Cave. It's got a bit of gameplay in it. And this is 100% done by me. Okay? So this is the bit in the film, in The Hobbit, where he falls down when they're fighting all the things, you know, all those, when they go into a little cave or whatever it is. That tells you the controls when you go into the game, so it's literally you just do this, alright? It says if you'd like it, give me an upvote, because you can upvote or downvote these particular creations. Alright, now I've programmed all this, the way it looks, the whole base and everything. And you notice this sword is glowing, and I pick it up, and it's a glowing sword. That's because there's goblins around, and this is supposed to be Bilbo's sword Sting. And he's also found a ring here. Alright, so I just sort of recreated Gollum's Cave. Now, the AI I haven't worked out yet. Oh, here comes an enemy, right? Now, I give them a fair bit of health here, so you can't kill them too easily. But, you know, if it takes a swing at me, ow, it's going to hurt. But we're not going to let him do that. So I did all this myself, carved this out of the ground, you know, built, well, really, I built a gigantic great hill thing. And then I just added stuff to it. Now I can take that meat there and I can fill up that health that I just lost. Oh dear. And of course they will despawn very quickly as well, just to get that out of the way. So it's not now, of course, because it's like Gollum's Cave, we don't know where we're going here. There's all kinds of routes you could go. Alright, oh there's another one there, right. So we're going to have a go at him, and we can evade him as well like this, and the camera will also kind of move around a bit as you get close to something. It will obviously do that and cut that bit out. You missed. But because we've got a sting, of course, not going to take very long. If we pick up that, and that there is a health little token, so if your health is a bit low, that will fill your health right up. Alright, now I think that's where we came in. Now if you get lost in here, I've left a little trail there of little fish bones, because it's Gollum's Cave, so, and you know what he's like eating fish. So if you're not sure which way to go, just follow that. Oh, there's two of them this time. Okay, so you can evade him like that. Oh, there's three of them. Alright, we're in a bit of trouble here, so we're going to back off a little bit. Well, there's a very simple animation built in to this attack thing, but some people actually program their own attack things, so they do different stuff. Alright, and then they all despawn. Alright, now I kind of did it so it went all different ways so that everybody would get lost, and I didn't mean to tell you to get lost, but if we follow the little fish bones, I thought that would be a help to some players. And all throughout this whole cave bit, I've got these little things, and you could try and collect all of them, because people in Project Spark like doing that, giving you little goodies. Little fire there, so I placed all these things in. Alright, I'm not saying it's fantastic, I've done lots of little corridors, doors, God knows what. And if you follow the fish, and notice he's pointing that way as well. It's also got a bit of light in here as well, as you notice. Right, there's a way round here. It's empty. So there's not always going to be things round the corner. Carry on. So yeah, I kind of did all kind of different ways. Kind of a Gollum's Cave kind of thing. Right, oh, I could do with that meat there. We'll open that and grab the thing. I can hear a sound of a goblin somewhere. And my sword is still bouncing away there. So not always a bone there. Old Gollum, I think, left a bone lying around. Now, that's kind of giving us a clue which way to go, but that's also giving us a clue. That's because you can go either way here. Right, oh look, there's some money there. Let's pick that up, because Bilbo loves... Oh, this guy throws bombs, by the way. He's a bomb thrower. So he's got an AI built in him, where he's going to throw bombs at you. Like that. And of course it would damage you. And he's just going to keep doing that until I bite his head off. As I said, you could go on either way there, alright? And yeah, put a little bit of, there's a bit of plant there. So as you cut out this stuff, it will draw in little plant bits. It'll do all that for you. Oh, that looks a little bit dodgy. I might want to steer clear of that because it might bite me. Now that's kind of giving you a clue where to go down there, right? But it's also a place down here. We could always have a little quick look down here. Because you never know, around every little corner could be a bit of treasure hiding. So I'm trying to sort of make it a little bit interesting. A little bit of combat, and oh god, there's one hiding behind the wall there. Very sneaky of him. Now the combat isn't difficult in this, but of course I can put his level up to extremely high just by changing his health value and making it 500 instead of 100. Alright. And there's another couple of little traps there. Now I could have hid those underneath the ground so you couldn't see it, and it still would have hurt you. But I thought, don't want to make it too difficult. And you see, look, this thing has got a thing where if you get near it, it displays a bee, and very simple programming. So we'll follow this back out, I think, because I think that was it. So as I say, I built all this, did this so that it would be just the right height so you could just jump up and get out of there. And it looks like we've got to go down here. That's just a little bit of light coming through, I think. And we could have done a first person view of you as well if we wanted. We could have had this whole game in for now that there shoots little objects, although it's supposed to shoot an arrow out of it, but I couldn't see it. But if you stand right in front of it, it will actually hit you. Oh yeah, there, like that. Right. Oh, there's another one. They're sneaky, these goblins. They like hiding behind the walls. I'm getting very low on health now. I'm getting a little bit worried. A few odd little bits and bobs flying around. Oh, wait a minute, there's a lump of meat there. We'll grab that. What's that? What is that? Oh my goodness, it's a trap. Okay, we'll jump over that then. Alright. That's kind of telling us the way, but there's a goblin there. Hello, Mr. Goblin. And we can destruct these boxes. Alright, so they've got built in where they will... It's built into their program where when player hits it, then it will blow up and do that particular effect and that particular noise. Alright, so we've got to collect all the coins. And we're very low on health now. And of course I could alter the values of that so that it'd give me full health when I picked up that meat if I wanted. You can do it how you like. So I'm getting very low. So I'm going to jump over that. That's kind of giving you a clue which way to go. So I could have made it really difficult and not give you any kind of guide at all, wouldn't I? But what kind of person would I have been if I'd done that? A really miserable guy. So it's not brilliant, I mean it's not the best, but you know, most of this is just I've carved it out and then I've just placed objects in. And sometimes when you kill them, they will actually drop a piece of meat. So I actually just told it to, when dead, drop this particular item at my body. So, you know, what rocket science. So when so-and-so, when dead, do drop meat, and you can just pick that item straight from the menu. So you just say select object and then you just click on the one that you want to make magically appear, and then you also tell it to do it just the once, otherwise it will keep on doing it. So obviously you don't want it to keep doing it, so you end up with thousands, do you? So you always tell it to do it once. There's a few odd bones about this guy is you know, having a little bit of a good time here. And he's got a little bag there which we can't interact with because we haven't interacted with it. We haven't told it to be interactable. Alright, another coin. And I don't know how many coins there are, but there's coins all over the place in here. So we just having a little bit of fun on his own there. Little camp he's made. So goblin caves, you know what they're like. Full of goblins. Hate them. But Bilbo's doing a fine job with Sting. Right, so we've got to go down here, and eventually we might meet Gollum. Now, of course, I couldn't do a very good Gollum. I was blocked that way. I better go this way. Now, I must admit that bit didn't look great. I could have tidied that up, to be honest, and that a little bit rough there. So I could have tidied that up. I have to do that at some point. Oh, of course, there's a chest in there because they like hiding their stuff in little old corners, thinking you're never going to get a chance to get. How am I going to get that? Well, I could push it. Now, this has got a certain amount of weight. It's quite heavy because it's stone. But if I actually bash that, I might be able to push it out of the way. There we go. So we can sort of throw it out of the way. So I thought I'd put a little obstruction there so you're trying to get past. Right, then we come here, and then the cutscene will start.
Bless us and scratch us, bless us. The tasty morsel I see. We must get closer.
So I programmed all this in. He's a bit twitchy. That's because he's reacting with the thing. Alright, and then he jumps out. Alright. And there's Gollum. Obviously he's not crawling.
Gollum, what is it, precious? Is it crunchy? What's its name, precious?
I'll interact with it.
Gollum.
And then it just repeats that. I was trying to do a whole riddle sequence, but you know, I'm not great at programming, as you know. I'm not the best in the world, but I was trying to do the whole sequence, but it's a little bit tricky doing decisions and things, and you know, I was trying to learn it, but I couldn't quite get it to work. But yeah, as you can see, he's got great big eyes, and what I did is I took the character and I just placed 2 big circles with an eye in it, because there are goggly eyes in this. Is one of the objects, and I just reduced it in size so it would fit on his face. Oh, and he's following me, by the way. And he's got him. Yeah, when anything's interactable, I've got it to turn yellow. Right, and he's got a little bit of a hideout here. Oh, there's a chest. Of course it is. So I've hidden little chests everywhere. I don't know how many there is, but there's a few. Now, I was trying to do it so if I got into this thing, it would move. But do you think I could get it to work? No. It wouldn't work, would it? I've got a double jump, by the way. Oh, luckily he's left a piece of meat there. But as you can see, this is Gollum, so he's got a lot of pile of junk here. Oh, he's also got a chest. Let's grab that then. He's also got a little pile of treasure here, which we're going to grab. He's got a little bag there, a couple of little bags there, and makes it different colours. And so there's odd little bits, fish bones and things. There's a dead orc there. Now that there, what's that? You see that? A little bird came out of it. And there's another one, and another little bird came out of it. And there's a recent dead goblin that I put in. There's another chest over there. Bilbo's got a very good jump, as you know. Oh yeah, for some reason that gets attached to me every time I open that one, so I haven't quite worked that out why that is. And there's another piece of meat over there. I know. Oh, but as you can see, when he goes through the water, it makes sounds, it makes ripples. Alright. So this is just my little Gollum cave thing. So that's all it is. But you know, it took a little while for me to do that. And then we can go all the way back. Blardy blardy blar. Blardy blardy blar. Alright? And then we can just go back to edit mode and we can see this whole level in all its entirety. If I press A and go back to that. And that names all the little goblins that I put in. So this is how I did it. I just created this whole area like this, surrounded it with water, did all that, and then I just tunneled through this whole bit, adding little bits of sections to it. So if we can just go, if we look in here, you know, you can see where I cut it all out. All right. And the reason why it's doing all these melee things, part one, you know, is because if you go to game settings, I've told it to put named objects on. If I turn that off, it shouldn't show them. Alright? Oh, that there is a little pathway. So if I go down to where that path is, alright? That's that little sequence that I did. So built into Gollum is he will move towards this thing, and that's the block which is controlling it, I think. It will move towards this and he will go up to there, drop into there, and then he will follow this particular path that I made, alright, up to there, and then he will jump out after a few seconds, right, and then we'll move along all the way along there and stop. Then I put little lights in, you know, little environmental things, and it was supposed to, when you got back in the boat, it would go back again, but do you think I'd get out of work? No. And this whole sequence in his brain here, I programmed this whole lot, and there's 11 pages of this. Alright, but some of it doesn't work. This is where I was trying to do the, yeah, look, what is it, precious, blah blah blah. And then it does, yeah, then I was trying to do this bit about what, as you know, he was going to do riddles, but I couldn't get that to work. I was programmed. I'm not a fantastic programmer, I only do basic stuff. So what it says here is once the distance of the player is less than 28 feet, alright, so only when I get in range, it will cut to the intro scene, alright, which is this bit, and then for a duration of 17 minutes in letterbox mode, it will deactivate the woodland peasant. In other words, it won't let me control the woodland peasant anymore. So this, and then it does a follow distance of that without control. So in other words, you can't control this for a certain amount of time. It will follow the path. When the path is complete, it will do an emote, talk, and start saying what it's going to say, which is bless us, precious, blah 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 blah. All right, so just program all that in, and that will go on for 14 seconds. That's how I did all that. All right. And then I just placed all this, you know, built all this sort of area all on my own. Alright. I'll exit without saving because I may have messed some up there. Now when this game was online and, you know, you could have access to it and everything, it would say the lineage of it, which meant so somebody could take this whole game that I've done, because if I've uploaded it, which I did, if I've uploaded it and published it, because it does say I published it, alright, I think I've hidden this one and I've just put up another one, like a copy of this. But somebody else could take that copy and then it becomes, and then if they do some editing on it, and it could be nothing, because all they got to do is save it as a new file and it's there. That, instead of being creator, it's a co-creator. So in other words, it knows that I'm the creator. So anybody else copies this and puts, you know, and then they just add one object or none. It knows that I'm the creator and he's a co-creator, and it will say how much of a percentage he's done. That doesn't come up now because obviously this game is non-playable again, although I think I'm proving it wrong. And these are all the various different saves that I've done. So I could go to this one, which is 5 years ago. Alright. So this is the very beginnings of it. So I was trying to back up my saves here by doing, you know, 5 or 6. And this is different stages of development of me doing it. Alright, so this time there's no tutorial bit, there's nothing to tell you what buttons to press. It's just an Elvis blade, like that. There's still the ring bit there. But I think you'll find that half of the stuff's missing. So it may not even have goblins in it for all I know. Yeah, you see it's very bare bones, there's nothing in it. So this is oh yeah, and after a while he says, oh, better, he does that, and he does a little emote. Alright, so this is the, you know, very early in my production of making this. But as I say, you can do that editor creator thing at the beginning, which gives you a lot of help. You can just dump a load of stuff in, dump a load of enemies in, and you got yourself an instant game in, you know, less than an hour. So it's really easy to do. Alright, I'll show you one very small one. I know the Isengard one does not work. This is another one I did. I tried to do the Spiders of Mirkwood with my crazy spiders. This is other people's stuff. Pokemon, Fallout 4, you know, Moonbase Crater, a Millennium Falcon, for goodness sake. I mean, who wants to see a Millennium Falcon? This is what somebody created. It puts my name on it, but I'm not the original creator. Alright, and then it's, you know, this, so this is, I've done nothing to this. When I was a child, I always dreamed about being Han Solo, flying a Millennium Falcon. With this game, Project Spark, my dream, and perhaps a dream many others, will come true. You press the button, and it's like, oh hello, is this like Moss Eisley or whatever? I don't know. Let's go in, shall we? Oh my goodness me. Hey Chewie, is the Millennium Falcon ready? It's built Millennium Falcon, for goodness sake. I mean, it's not a bad effort, is it? Let's be fair. Look at that. Oh, you can adjust the camera sensitivity and all that. And it's got a little thing. Get on the ramp. I'm waiting until fade out to enter the Falcon. For not colliding with the ceiling, press RB first. Well, that kind of went wrong. Oh, I may have done that wrong. I may have messed it up. Looks like I messed it up there. That's in case you collide into the thing. I think I've got to make sure I'm in it before it fades or whatever. God, it's a slippery step, isn't it? Right, here we go. Okay, ready? There you go. A pitch of the yaw, you know, and we can go up and down. So we're going to go. Oh crikey, the camera is not really following it, unfortunately. So it looks like he's made a mistake straight away where we can't even see him. So he's kind of messed up, which is what people do when they do this. is they can mess up. They can, you know, some of them can program very well, like me, and they can mess up. Alright, but I could take a whole copy of this purely by pressing the edit button and saving it as a new save. Alright, but yeah, some of them don't work. And then I'll do one more and then I think that will do. But yeah, it's a really good creation tool and I wish they hadn't have destroyed it. See, I got the Battle of Fire of Armors here. Somebody did this and I just added new stuff to it. So the original game by Gobsmack07 Tor. Follow the frozen stream under the bridge to see the view of Lake Town. You play as Thorin as he charges out of airborne to face the goblins. Now I added some extra stuff to this. So, you know, I just get a small 2% of this. And there's the controls, but 98% of this is done by him. Alright, so we're coming out, and it comes out all in slow motion, so it's like all cinematic, like. It's all, you know. And he created this whole bit himself. So it's supposed to be that area where they had the great big battle. And I just added trolls and all kinds of things. And then, of course, you've got to fight them all. And the dwarves are here as well. They're going to help me out. And they might get killed, by the way, so, you know. So we just take on all these goblins and things. Now I could have put like 100 in, but of course, you know, I might have got a bit of slowdown. The goblins are doing pretty well here. And I think some of my guys are dying there. But he's doing alright there. So I'm going to smash that. But they're not doing too bad. There we go, they're doing alright. Oh no, he needs a bit of help. But sometimes the old goblins do get lost because I go out of distance and they kind of don't know where I am anymore and they get lost. But I think some of them may have not survived or they just ran off. Or rough. But you see, so it was a little battle. I mean, I didn't put millions of the things. There's some wolves here as well. Oh, there's a giant troll coming. Oh, he's even got a little arrow, look, telling you where to go. So, really, the only trouble is with this Project Spartan thing is when you do the attack, they can't really hit you back because they kind of stagger all the time. So a little bit easy to kill things. So I made it so they were a bit tougher just to give it a bit of chance. A bit of luck, you might get hit by somebody from behind you. So you might take a bit of punishment. But at the moment, I'm taking none. But that's because I'm awesome. Oh, they come out of the little holes, some of them. Those little holes in the canyon there. Yeah. Noisy bunch. So literally you just copy and paste these in. So somebody have made their own little characters and things. Now if you do lose track of them, you know, as long as you walk up to them, they'll come back and follow you again. Right, see, it's pointing towards where I gotta go here. So it's even got like an objective thing. There's even a map, I do believe. Not sure where it is, but can't remember. There's a gigantic wolf there. Now, if you walk over here, and you notice a little marker's pointing toward there, that's because it wants me to go to Dale. Over here in the distance. It remains a lake town. Not bad. And there's no run button. It's just like push. You know, if you move it slowly, you'll go slowly, and if you push it forward, you'll run. Wolves are walking very slowly, aren't they? So yeah, I won't show much more. I mean, you're bored of it already, probably. But that's how I do a little bit of creation in Project Spark. Very simple demonstration, but there's lots more you could do if you want. If you're a programmer, you could make some tremendous game, and you can make any kind of game with this. And I wish Microsoft would allow us just access to it. I mean, we bought it. Please, will you let us just carry on using it? It may not be, you know, the online element and all that lot may not be there anymore. Oh, it's a big guy. But, you know, it's our game. Let us have it, will you? You know, they try to do a bit, well, when you start this, it says, oh, this game won't work, and it stops you even using it. Which they've only done in the last sort of year. Oh, it's very noisy. I think if I hit my guys, I won't do any damage. But as you can see, I made them pretty tough, so it wouldn't be too easy. Eventually, you know, all my guys will probably die. I'll leave that troll. So yeah, this is pointing us into the objective, and notice I'm very, very low on health now. I think I stuck a few lumps of meat in here and there. And I just put a little bit of extra decoration in and all. Yeah, you see what I mean? There's a lot to do here, which is why I put some dwarves in to help. I was hoping to find a lump of meat, but there you go. So anyway, once you've done all this, once you've killed all these, because it keeps a count of how many you've killed, and then it'll do like when so whatever it is, when those things equal 0, then do the next objective kind of thing, and go here. Yeah, I made this guy quite strong-ish. But anyway, it goes on and on, alright? So I don't wanna bore you with this too long. So it's a great creation tool, and again we go into, you know, this is the creation side of it now. Oops, gone outside the thing. Oh yeah, if you go outside of the map like that, you can press right button, press like that, and then it goes straight to the player. Alright, then press. So if you ever get lost and you wonder where your player, you can just. So yeah, this is how he does it. This is like the range of, you know, these things to happen. So that when you start off, there's a block here that says move it half the speed or whatever. You know, these are for lights and things or whatever. Some of them are just markers of, you know, go from that block to that block and then that block. Those are the ranges. These are the ranges of some of the enemies and you know, some of the AI and stuff. Okay, these got pre-built brains, so you know these are all programmed in. But they're basically ones that are already done, and we just drop them in. That's all that they are. Now I'll show you the rest of it. So is this whole town of Dale, all right? And then over there is that lower bit with Lake Town. Alright, so it's got, you know, it's a nice little kind of town that's built here. Alright, and then once you've killed them all in there, then what you do is you go to this area here, so the marker will point towards this, and you've got this little path around here. It's all sort of icy and whatever, and then things will attack you here. These I think are spawn cubes, so it will say when within a certain range, spawn and you can just select an object, i.e. a thing like a goblin, and then it will spawn it. So that's what these blocks are. It's mostly just spawn points of where to put them, which is, you know, kind of thing they do in real games, obviously, but obviously a lot better than this. And then up here is like the real bad guy, which is the guy in the film. What's his name? Can't remember what his name is. Might say there. I can't remember, but you know the guy in the thing, you know, the guy that's got pale skin that had his arm chopped off and he's got a bit of stick in there or something. Then you have this whole battle with him, and then you get up to there, and when you get up to here, that's the end of the game. Alright, so the red block is supposed to indicate that's the end game bit, and then just play a little sequence, do the end, say thank you for playing, blah 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 blah. Tough luck, mate, you know. And this guy just built it. It's just all blocks and things just placed in one at a time. Like that. And some of them might be attached. And then he's got like an icy bit inside there. I wonder what these blocks are. I wonder what's in it. Once detect the player, create a goblin fodder at position where that thing is and make him go towards the player detector. So it's got all stuff like that in. Yeah, I can understand that. Alright, but it's not a bad little thing, look, you know. That's supposed to be error board, the front of the old, you know, the thing in the film where Thorin's father was. And he built a nice little thing here with a little bit of river and, you know, not bad. A bit of snow, so you can do snow effects, rain effects, all kinds of stuff. So if you go to the world editor, you know, you can put snow in and all this kind of stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do in it. You can even make it be no gravity, so it's kind of floating a little bit. Or you know, when you jump, you do it. It's all slow, like you're on the moon. All right. I won't do save and exit because I might have messed it up. All right. So yeah, it's all kind of stuff like that. So this is a really good game creator. That was simple. You know, it looks good. Right, you've also got these episodic games. That's the community game. So if you click on that, you get a load of stuff that people created, and you can just drag and drop that into your game at any time and take little pieces of it, whatever. This is the episodic adventures. So you've got one which is Void Storm, all right, and the other one is Conquer, where they recreated a Conquer game. Not the whole thing, but you know, a nice chunk. And then this is Void Storm, where you know you got to go through, do certain things. Some parts you actually got to do a little bit of programming. It actually says, oh, to make this work, you got to do press this, put in when interacted, do up, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. So there's these episodic adventures, and the whole lot is included in that. This is another one for making games, especially for Ghost. I better see how long I've been going for, because I don't want to drag this on too much.
Shall we begin at the beginning?
Because it's a bit pointless.
Soaring
because
mountains.
you know, nobody's seen this and nobody can play it. Oh, I'm trying to find me live feed again. I've lost it. There it is. This is another way of doing it, right?
Canyons, mountain peaks, hills.
Let's randomize it. Let's do hills. All right. So this is a different one than the one that we saw before.
You paint.
So we do that.
Best bring a cold beverage.
So this goes a little bit further than that
What's the
first
setting
one,
for
where
the
you set the
story?
environment, do a creature, you know, do a character and all
Can
that
you
lot. This
see
is
in the
slightly
dark?
different. So it creates it, and that's the spark of
a
life. That's why it's
world
called
of your
Project
own.
Spark. All right. So it's going to do it slightly different now.
What is it that your
think
champion
it's-
must do now?
So then you can
Retrieve an
say,
item
well,
of
it's
great importance?
it's going to do adventure,
That might
right?
be
So this is like
rewarding.
an expanded idea
Where
of that
would
creation
your
thing
adventure
now.
begin?
You can put where your start town will be, alright? So you press that, and it would generate a little kind of small village around it.
Which sacred ground will you
Right?
be
And this is
defending?
all programmed in by them. Then you can say,
Is
what's
a
my,
well what you wish?
know-
A magnificent shrine?
you know, should we have a
village well?
shrine, should we have a village
And what
well,
goes
or
here?
should we have a royal statue?
You
It's
never
not a royal
know
statue.
where they'll put things these days.
So you just got to make decisions here. I'm just pressing a
Every
button.
story needs a hero, and ours come in the form of champions.
So
Each champion
we can have
has
a
their
hero,
own
and we
set of
can
unique
alter
powers
this
that can be
and get
leveled
different
up.
ones. So we can have Conquer. You know, let's have
Long time
Conquer.
no see. An epic quest.
Alright, then we've
awaits
got
your
to speak to him to begin the adventure. Alright? So, this is another way of doing this. Alright? Without you doing any effort at all, bar move the joystick. Alright? So we press B. Alright? Hello, I'm the Royal Creator, and I bid you welcome. Her Majesty would be quite surprised to hear of your presence in our lands. Press A for the next bit. You can edit this text as well, by the way. So once this whole sequence finishes, you can edit this as much as you like. In fact, you can do it on the fly. You can change it now if you want. This magnificent statue, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, who is this? We are under attack. Who would dare? Alright, so it's all pre-done.
Okay, now who's your foe
Now
again?
you can decide what enemies are attacking this place.
Void,
Goblins,
armed
void
and
fiends.
dangerous. Pluck
Load of
a zombie
teddies.
horde.
I'll tell you what, let's have some zombies. Alright, there's lots of different
Teddies.
options. Just keep on going.
Corrupt, rowdy goblin.
Alright, but I
fierce
think,
void
I mean, there's only
void,
there is a
corrupt the
limited
living
kind of
dead,
amount.
the
So, but
dead
I'm going to
are
go for
rising.
zombies. Alright,
The battle
now what it will
begins
do
here.
now Uh-oh. He doesn't like it. He's getting all excited. And here comes the zombies. Alright? And it's going to damage your statue. Alright? Right, now you got to... Yeah, and that's what zombies do. They're kind of like that. So... And then it's just going to do this little sequence, and all literally you've got to do is just button mash the X button. Alright? So you just get rid of this little army. Alright? And then it will continue. This is all programmed in, and you don't have to do anything but press a button. Right, we've got to go back to him. Right. Where did they come from? Barbarians, these horrid zombies have stolen the royal scepter. We must find a substitute for the royal scepter. I know just the thing.
What challenge is your hero after?
So we got to define now
valued elixir?
What it is we got to find. And again, we can
the flesh of a
we can have kind of different things. And
a shiny scepter.
Let's do this.
You'll get it
stolen
back in no time.
Spectre. Right, you must find a guy. Blah 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 blah. No doubt our enemies have the royal scepter locked away in a remote hideout or whatever it is. Those who took it must be allied with the zombies. They have surely secured it away in their vile demise.
Where will your hero go?
Right, so now it can't finish the line because we're going to say where it is. Is it
Codian
Is
ruins?
it a Codian ruin?
A village consumed by fire? A fortified fortress?
Is it in a fortress?
A beautiful new castle?
Or we can randomise it and do a
An
castle.
ancient druid site? A
So
terrifying
we can do,
tower?
pick whatever we want.
Where
Let's
in
do a
the world
corrupted
will you
tower.
be?
That sounds good. Right, and then we can place where we want it. So I want to place it just there. All right, and then we
It's teeming
press
with
it, and it
evil
will create
energy.
land around it and make sure that it's level with the ground.
Spark.
Right.
Create the road your hero
Now.
will venture on.
Now, we've got to draw a pathway. So what we do is you just move this along like that. And we could go like multiple, we could do like a little pathway along here and it will draw little bits in. You notice it's drawing little bridges and all kinds of, all the way to your village. Alright, so it's done a little, so it's doing, this game is doing this all for you. You don't have to do anything. And then you
All
press
that
the button
begins
and it will
ends.
create all that.
Often badly, of course.
I mean, I should have done it up to the gate really. So it's kind of a bit convoluted. But you see what I mean? This is creating stuff for you. You don't have to do anything but press a button. Right, placeholder desk entrant. Oh, I don't know what that is. As I said, it's your duty to repair the royal statue, please. Right, so we got. What's that do? Oh yeah, that focuses on the enemy base. So if you're ever not sure where it is, it's over there. Right, so we're gonna press that again. I think we got to return to it after, so we've got to follow this pathway. I mean, I can't see it very well. So we got to go all the way there now. And I think this guy has got
this?
a...
An ancient hedge of stone?
So this is little
A
supplemental
duel with
things that
your
you can
fellow
have.
knights?
So you can have a little
farm,
tournament
a
thing.
mysterious observatory?
Or we can have an observatory. Or that. You know, there's all kinds
A
of things you
trading
can put
camp?
in there, all sort of random.
An
You can have a close
unidentified
encounter.
being?
Ooh, I mean, that sounds a bit odd.
bustling with eager recruit.
What about a critter
ranger?
cottage? Sorry,
I
ranch. So
suggest
we
you
press
place
that.
this
Right,
somewhere
and then we can
down
place
here.
this wherever we want on the way to that place. So let's, I don't know. I'm not sure if we can rotate it. Might be able to rotate it for all I know. I don't know, let's put it, say... I mean, I could have done this further apart, really, couldn't I? There's the thing. Well, I don't know, we'll do it, say...
It smells
Here.
a bit
Right,
like
press it
fur
there.
and flour.
So this is like another encounter on the way to that
It's
place.
not a
It's like
critter
another
ranch
little
without
thing you can
critters.
do.
But what kind?
Now we can say, what do we want to put in
Go
there?
a
It's only going to
scurry
give us 3
squirrel
choices,
Going
unfortunately.
down the rabbit hole? Well, this
I think
place sure
rabbits
is
would be
hopping.
nice. So it's going to generate all that for us. We don't have to do anything else. And this is just like another little thing, like on the way to the main quest. Here's a little minor one. Alright. Right, oh dear, oh no, I'm getting attacked by all these things. Quick, we must do something about that. Critter has it out for me. I can do anything without being attacked by the blasters things. I'm just a humble salesman and she's ruining my business. I have a proposition for her and I can't even get close to that rant. If you talk some sense into her, I might make it worth your while. So is that so some lady is made it so those things attack him or something? I have a feeling this is the start of a lucrative partnership. Alright, so now we got a little quest and we haven't done anything. So what we got to do is we got to... Oh, sure, that's the main base. So we got to go and find Mrs. McDonald, which is at that place that we put down. That little... God, can't think where I put it now. But anyway, follow the path. I did it somewhere along. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's little coins and there's going to be little enemies in the way as well. So this is all created by this particular game. On the fly, this is part of this creation tool. Alright, so it's generating all this for you without you having to do a thing bar make a choice. Alright. Okay, and then when you get to like where that woman was, which I'm not sure where she was.
What new?
Oh yeah, oh there, and then it gives you what? Would you like to put a random thing here?
Well, what'll you wish
Let's
for?
put that there. See, so it's generating stuff all for you. It spawning some enemies like you do in games. You know, oh, what you got? It's also getting us money as well. So we're going to get rid of these. All right, and then we interact with this well. So these are just little encounters, and they just ask you what do you want to do, and you can alter the text if you want by pressing RB. What's this? A wishing well? So what you can do, you can throw some coins in there. Let's throw 5 coins in. Didn't do anything. Guess not all wishes come true. So sometimes I think, you know, it gives you stuff and other times it don't. So these are just little things on the way that is going to pre-generate for you. So you can make yourself a nice little interesting game. Without any effort or very, very minimal effort. I mean, I could have put a landscape where I could see the path. So there's different ways you can create stuff in this from scratch, from a whole tutorial which shows you, right, you know, for anybody who doesn't even know how to use the controls. Or you can have this thing called Crossroads, where it will help you to make a world, and all you got to do is just press a few buttons and say, well, I want that, I want that. Alright. So this is Crossroads. And then you could save, once this whole bit's finished, you can then go into edit mode, save this as a creation, and then you can change it and make it bigger, smaller. You can take stuff out, put stuff in, add stuff. You can do recreate the environment. You could change what they say. You can do anything. So these are the ways you can play it. Crossroads, where it helps you to make a game and just to make decisions. One where it teaches you, and yeah, one where you can start from scratch and do everything yourself. All right, that one will just give you a few decisions again on like what kind of land you want, what kind of do you want trees, do you want desert. So this is the kind of thing that Project Spark could do. You know, the community would probably love this to be still playable. And once this was online, you could download tons and hundreds and hundreds of games. Some are 2D platformers, some are shooters, some were, you know, just about any kind of game you can think of, this thing could create. Oh, all right, it's not going to be, you know, AAA standard or anything like that. It's probably not going to be indie standard, but there were some very good games created using this tool. All right. So there you are. There's a little look at Project Spark. Different ways that you can create simple stuff, easy stuff. You know, just a simple bit of programming and a little couple of my worlds that I've been working on. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you all next time. And also, by the way, people out there, Project Spark is still usable if you've still got it installed on your machine and you don't get rid of it. You can still play it. Okay, you just start the game, let it load in. When it gets past that little intro sequence where it says Microsoft Studios, little intro, it does a little cutscene thing, and then it starts loading in your profile, says like RayRay Awesome, and then it says your assets have loaded in. Go offline, okay? Just wait about 10 seconds, and then go back online again, and it will stop the message coming up saying you can't play this game anymore. The whole thing stops and you can't use it. As long as you know, to go offline and come back on again at that precise moment. If it doesn't work the first time, just do it again, because sometimes it takes a couple of attempts. And this game still works. Okay? So don't think it don't, it does. And you can even invite your friends if you press right trigger. You know, but you can't do that anymore. You could even do this in co-op. Alright, so thanks very much for watching. Oh, by the way, I press on that, I was able to see all my stats and everything, but obviously we can't do that anymore. I reached a very, very high score on mine and maxed out everything. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and guess what, everybody? I'll see you later. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. I probably won't do any more. It was just a little look at an old game that Microsoft decided you can't play this anymore, and we're going to stop you from actually accessing it. But it is still playable if you follow that process that I said. And you can still mess around with it, and I occasionally, every now and again, go back to it and have a little bit of fun on it. So bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye!